Good morning. I'm Reverend Kathy. Welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. And welcome whether you are in person or whether you are with us on Zoom today. We're glad you're here. So we are an inclusive community. We welcome and accept all people, whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual path. You're welcome at Unity. And we are also part of a greater worldwide Unity movement. We are the publishers of the Daily Word magazine, and we've been holding 133 years of prayer vigil through Silent Unity, the prayer ministry of the Unity movement. So prayer is the heart and soul of Unity. And every week we have a prayer chaplain who's available to pray with you after service. And our prayer chaplain today is Rebecca from Redondo Beach. I'm not seeing her on screen, but I see her. There she is. She's waving. And she joins us all the way from Redondo Beach. And so you give her a call right after service, once service ends, and she's happy to pray with you. And whether you have a need or whether you just want to connect with someone in prayer. So thank you for being here doing that, Rebecca. And I'd like to introduce our producer today, Chris Italiano, with Brandy is shadowing him today, learning how to be one of the producers as well. So welcome, Chris, and welcome to Rhonda Italiano, who is our licensed teacher and our worship assistant today. And then we have our special guest musicians, Grace Madonna and Nancy Helpig. So let's give them all a warm hand. And before we do the opening song, we'll just speak our vision and mission statements together. And vision first, together. Centered in prayer, we create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance. And our mission, celebrating spirit, exploring truths, awakening hearts, inspiring dreams, serving community. And you see our values at the bottom. Those are our core beliefs here at Unity North. And with that, we'll sing an opening song, so I invite you to stand.
We Good morning. We are so happy to have everyone here with us today. Do we have anyone here joining us for the first time? Maybe you could put your hand in the air so we can acknowledge you. No one? Oh, yes. Can you tell us your name, please? Diane. And where are you joining us from? From Roseville. Roseville is home for you. Well, we're happy to have you with us. Thank you. Let's see, any other hands in-house? What about on Zoom? Do we have any newcomers online? No? Old timers. All right. So we want to make sure, whether it's our first time here or we've been here since we were church in a box, we want to greet one another. So please take a moment, wave to someone across the aisle. Make sure we don't forget our friends on Zoom, the cameras at the back of the sanctuary. Marianne is waving to us from the narthex out there. Very good. Oh, yes, we have all ages. Sorry, I forgot. All right. Well, we want to, once we've greeted and welcomed one another, we want to take just a moment to honor prayer requests. So whatever you may have on your mind or on your heart this morning, I'm going to ask you to just let that bubble to the surface. And we are going to pause for a moment of silence to honor everyone's prayer requests together. So please take a breath. We give thanks for answered prayers. And so it is. Amen. Continuing in that prayerful presence, we will share today's daily word. The word for today, Sunday, February 19th, is aspire. I aspire to help create a world that works for all. I hold a vision of an equitable world, a global community that supports and encourages all people to live fully and reach their unique potential. I feel a kinship with those who hold a similar vision and work to realize it. My past experiences and present perspective show me what is mine to do and how I can contribute to realizing my vision. I trust I will be guided and inspired to find avenues of service where the things I do best and most enjoy doing will be most helpful. I bless people I may never meet, and I offer my time, talents, and effort to further my vision of a new way of living. With clarity of purpose, I take my place among a growing network of caring, visionary souls. From Ephesians 4:11 through 12, we read, "The gifts he gave were to equip the saints for the work of ministry, for building up the body of Christ." The word for today is aspire.
I'm choosing love. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing sweet and full, unconditional love. I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing sweet and full, unconditional choosing sweet and full, unconditional joy. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing love. I'm choosing sweet and full, unconditional love.
As we begin to move into meditation, I'd first like to just make an announcement that several days ago, our former interim minister, Reverend Barbara, and regular guest speaker, that her husband, Stephen, did make his transition. So we're just sending love and light to them as we move into meditation today. So I invite you to take several deep breaths. And as you do, just say to yourself, I am completely and fully relaxed. Just feel that wave of relaxation move down your body. And again, I'm completely and fully relaxed. So we send our prayers to Reverend Barbara for peace and comfort through this time of grieving. And for her husband, Stephen, we know that no one is ever beyond the power of prayer. So we pray for his continued guidance in his next adventure in living. And we continue to offer our prayerful support to both. Today's focus is on community. And one of the things community does is support one another in our times of challenge and difficulty, and celebrate with us in our times of joy and happiness. Spiritual community supports us in our own journeys, for the spiritual path has to be walked alone, ultimately. But having supportive friends and allies along the way to encourage us and inspire us makes all the difference. So allow me to speak the words for you, taking them in as your own. I am grateful for my loving spiritual community. For the power of light and openness, power of vision to guide and direct me. The inclusivity that it includes and accepts me. And the nurturing that helps me believe in myself and the grace that is ever present bringing me gifts of surprise and synchronicity. And the gratitude that is ever present. In community, I learn an attitude of gratitude. So I take a moment in the silence just to give thanks for my community. And in this community, it's a joy to hear a little voice. And know that all ages are welcome. And so we say thank you, God, for the presence and the power of community. And so it is. Amen.
When the rain is blowing in your face and the whole world is on your case, I could offer you the warm embrace and make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for 1,000,000 years and make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I could never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true. Nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you, to make you feel my love, to make you feel my love.
That was beautiful, Grace. Thank you. Well, people often come together in community at weddings, and I had one of the great community experiences at a wedding that I did once in Arizona. And it was in a beautiful housing development where the houses were situated on a lake. And I was in a corner of the backyard with my back against the lake, looking at the bride and groom and everyone there. And they were all facing me with a view of the lake behind me. And as I was doing the ceremony, I was about to get to the point where I was going to say something like, let us now gather in deeper community to bless these two as they pronounce their vows. And as I was approaching that point, I heard a noise behind me in the lake. And after a little bit, I realized I was hearing the sound of ducks. And as I finally got right to that point where I'm just about to say, now let's join together in greater community to bless these two, the ducks had arrived. They pulled up behind me, quacking at the top of their lungs. And it was just such a wondrous, joyful moment. And we were just kind of all overcome by the humor of it. Everybody was laughing, and it was just joyful. And also to realize just the integral community of which we are a greater part. And we'll never forget that moment. And, you know, the thing about community is that it means different things to different people. To some, it's a safe haven where survival is assured. To others, it's a place of emotional support, with deep sharing and bonding with close friends. And some see community as an intense crucible for spiritual growth. For others, it's primarily a place to pioneer their dreams. But we all have a need for community. It's the place where we can often find healing and personal courage. When we come together with powerful intention, a community can unite together to step beyond its limitations and make a difference in the greater community, transforming the world. So the title today, Loving Community, can be thought of in two ways. One, as a community that we are part of, which we are, unity, a loving community. And two, how we love our community. How do we love our community that we are part of? And I think both apply to this lesson today. So what are some of the qualities of a loving community? And so I'm going to take the word loving as a way to look at this. And the first letter of the word loving is L. And I think of that as light-filled. You know, in unity, we often say that we are let's see, how do we say it? We say a positive path for spiritual living. positive path for spiritual living. And that is, to me, a light-filled statement. It's very positive. That's what we are. And we provide a path. And it's for spiritual living. So we are living with a connection to the divine, so to spirit. And so also in Unity, we hear a lot about light beings, about being surrounded and enfolded in divine light. And oftentimes even we talk about light as being so intense and bright and angelic that it's even beyond this earth. So light is an important aspect of Unity. And also, I think a light-filled community is one that is upbeat, sunny, joyful, fun-loving, and definitely spirit-led. You know, at this time, many are reawakening to the truth of who we are because we are living amid such large-scale changes in the world. And we need to access this light, not only to survive, but to thrive as we shift into a whole new order of consciousness. It's through our connection to this light that we know things beyond what the visible world can tell us and see things beyond what the physical world reveals. So in order to access this wisdom, we can simply allow ourselves to remember that we are not limited as we have been taught. In fact, we are filled with divine light that is ours for the asking. A daily practice of tuning into this vast potential, conversing with it, and offering ourselves up to it opens the door through which we can reclaim our true identity, taking ownership of the calling that the time has come to create greater light, greater bliss on earth. So this knowing of the light is one of Unity Community's blessings. I think of the words from Rihanna's song, "Shine bright like a diamond." And a community of light is dynamic and filled with life and energy. There may be times of quiet or sadness or even grief, but the light, ever available, still pulses within. So, O in the word loving is for open. Open-minded, open-hearted, open to new ideas, open to guidance, open to the wonders of creation, open to one another. An open community is one that can continue to open, grow, and expand. Frederick and Marianne Broussard said in the film Dances with Wolves, the Native American chief Kicking Bear says to United States Army Lieutenant Dunbar, "I was thinking that of all the trails in this life, there is one that matters more than all the others. It is the trail of the true human being. I think you are on this trail, and it is good to see." So the trail of the true human being is one of openness toward others, even those who are strangers and alien to all we know and believe. Lieutenant Dunbar, who takes the name Dances with Wolves, opens himself up to the ways of the Lakota people and becomes very familiar with the path of animals. He practices openness. And empathy is a sign of openness. Consider the Lakota prayer, "Great Spirit, help me never to judge another until I have walked 2 weeks in his moccasins." This is the heart of our humanity, being here open and giving to others. You know, one of the great Unity teachers and metaphysicians at Unity Village was a man named Ed Rabel. And he always opened all of his classes with the affirmation, "I am now open, receptive, and responsive to the living spirit of truth." Many of you have heard me say that in my classes sometimes. But I always love that because it's just a great beginning, an affirmation for affirming openness. And not only open, but I am open, receptive, and responsive to that living spirit of truth. And so V is next, and that is for vision. It is said that without vision, the people perish. And yet, what does vision have to do with a loving community? Well, vision is the future. Vision is where we're headed. And when a community has a vision statement, they're thinking of more than just themselves. They're thinking of future generations. They're thinking of the accomplishment of something and fulfilling something for all. And to me, that is a loving gesture. That is not a selfish community. So vision is powerful in terms of adding to the quality of lovingness. Also, a vision is something that each of us can aspire to. At one point or another in our lives, each of us can take or does take what is a vision quest, where we take our journey through the wilderness by ourselves. No one can do it for us. And out of that, we achieve or gain wisdom. And so the wilderness may not be actual, but metaphoric in our cases. And this community has done that through its various cycles of life. And each of us can ask ourselves, have I gone through my journey in the wilderness to receive wisdom and a higher vision? And my guess is yes, or you might not even be here today. You know, we all take our various journeys to arrive and enter into a unity community. Vision has to do with our values and with our personal blueprint for what is important in life. And it's an ideal future reality. It's about taking a stand. Protestant minister Peter Marshall proposes, give us clear vision that we may know where to stand and what to stand for, because unless we stand for something, we shall fall for anything. I love that. Unless we stand for something, we shall fall for anything. Vision looks inward and becomes duty. Vision looks outward and becomes aspiration. And vision looks upward and becomes faith. So in this spiritual community, we just spoke it this morning, our vision is centered in prayer. We create for all a world of love, harmony, and abundance, a loving image to hold for all. And then I is inclusive. So we say about Unity North that we welcome and accept all people. So we can hold a certain consciousness, we can deepen our consciousness through prayer and meditation and affirmations that attract, and yet it doesn't necessarily mean that we're as diverse as we want to be. Because, you know, sometimes we don't have a lot of control over who shows up. We do to a degree, and as I just said, in terms of building consciousness, and yet sometimes demographics prevail as well. And so, but what we can do is be inclusive. That means, so whoever shows up, we welcome, we accept, we include. And that's the power of inclusivity. And so we can each ask ourselves the question, is there anything I can do to be more welcoming and accepting of others in my community? And then N is for nurturing. A nurturing community is safe and caring. It's comforting and compassionate. When someone grieves and when there is need, others reach out to offer kindness and support. We are all being called to that today, learning about Reverend Barbara losing her husband, Stephen, to reach out. And by the way, If you do want to send her a card, Darlinda has her address. So nurturing community helps to nourish those who are part of it and empower them to nurture themselves so that they might grow and blossom. You know, if we're to bring out the very best that is inside us, we must take time also to nurture ourselves. When we truly care for ourselves, it becomes possible to care more profoundly about other people. So the more alert and sensitive we are to our own needs, the more loving and generous we can be toward others. Then a nurturing community can reach beyond itself to the greater community of which it's a part. And that's wonderful. One of the wonderful gifts our outreach brings to us here at Unity North. And finally, G is for grace and gratitude. You know, the Unity theme for our year is grace and gratitude. I spoke about it in January, but this is a good reminder. John 1:16 says, "From his fullness we have all received grace upon grace." Grace is God's love in expression. We all experience the law of cause and effect, but grace takes us a step further. It saves us from perhaps the worst results or the worst effects we might have set into motion. So it's the power to dissolve hate, dissolve resistance, dissolve obstinacy, anger, pain, disease, and lack. It's the loving presence of the Christ within each one of us. And grace never has to be earned. We have been blessed with grace here at Unity North in countless ways. A member said to me recently, "Isn't it great that grace can allow us to forgive and forget the mistakes others have made in the past and let them go without judgment?" Something we all can aspire to. And gratitude works hand in hand with grace. It becomes easy when we step back to notice the flow of grace in our lives. Grace is always expressing, always available, and once we notice and accept it, then gratitude follows naturally. And gratitude is more than just saying thanks for our good. It's a dynamic spiritual tool that can help us create the lives that we want. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore said, "It has been found by experience that a person increases his blessings by being grateful for them. So gratitude actually increases our abundance." And grace is a gift of love, and our task is to learn to receive it. And gratitude is life's magnet, truly a miraculous force, a living energy. So loving community is filled with grace and gratitude. Now, remember this quote from my January talk? I mean, that was only 1 month ago, so if you don't remember, I'm thinking that I could recycle my talks every month. Be a lot easier. Well, so the quote is by Ramakrishna, "The winds of grace are always blowing, but you have to raise the sail. The gifts move across the waters. We can't control or earn them, but we must be willing to receive them." So I believe gratitude helps us to raise that sail that catches the winds of grace. So let us remember to acknowledge the grace in our lives and to hold an attitude of gratitude in any circumstance. So once again, in loving community, the letters loving stand for light-filled, open, vision, inclusive, nurturing, grace, and gratitude. And it applies to our loving community and to each of us as loving participants. We can ask, am I light-filled, positive, joyful? Am I open, open-minded, open-hearted? Am I in sync with the collective vision? Do I have a vision myself? Am I striving to be more inclusive? Am I nurturing, helpful, supportive, caring? And am I giving thanks in advance for grace can always give thanks for grace? Do I have an attitude of gratitude? Although the inner journey is a solo one, through the support of loving community, it can be made easier for us to achieve our transformation. You know, sometimes the shadow side of community has arisen in humorous bloopers made in church bulletins. I read this before. Here are a few oldies but goodies. Remember in prayer the many who are sick of our community. For those of you who have children and don't know it, we have a nursery downstairs. The church will host an evening of fine dining, super entertainment, and gracious hostility. Potluck supper Sunday at 5 p.m., prayer and medication to follow. The ladies of the church have cast off clothing of every kind. They may be seen in the basement on Friday afternoon. The rosebud on the altar this morning is to announce the birth of David Allen Belser, the sin of Reverend and Mrs. Julius Belser. And finally, don't let worries kill you. Let the church help. It's always great to have a sense of humor about church community. You know, I began this lesson talking about ducks at a wedding, and I will end it talking about geese. We are like geese. Remember that wonderful metaphor? It's been in print for a long time, but it's so fitting. In the fall or spring, when you see geese heading south for the winter, flying along in V formation, scientists have discovered about why they fly that way. As each bird flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the bird immediately following. By flying in V formation, the whole flock adds at least 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew on its own. People who share a common direction and sense of community can get where they're going more quickly and easily because they're traveling on the thrust of one another. When a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to go it alone and quickly gets back into formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird in front. If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stay in formation with those people who are headed the same way we are. When the head goose gets tired, it rotates back in the wing and another goose flies point. It is sensible to take turns doing demanding jobs, whether with people or with geese flying south. Geese honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. What messages do we give when we honk from behind? Finally, and this is important, when a goose gets sick or is wounded by gunshot and falls out of formation, two other geese fall out with that goose and follow it down to lend help and protection. They stay with the fallen goose until it is able to fly or until it dies. And only then do they launch out on their own with another formation to catch up with their group. If we have the sense of a goose, we will stand by each other like that. When we come together in community to make the world a better place, that is exactly what happens. We make the world a better place. Anthropologist Margaret Mead said, "Never underestimate the power of a small group to change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." So thanks to each one of you for the part you play and for your presence in this loving community. God bless you.
see skies of blue and I see clouds of white, brightness of day, and I like the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you'll find me, or somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. And the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't
Thank you so much, Grace. That was awesome. All right. This is the point in our service when we bless our offering. So if you are in the sanctuary and you are leaving a gift, there is a basket in the back. If you are joining us on Zoom, you are welcome to visit our website where you can give online, or you can find the address and send your gift via mail. So if you would please join me in the offering blessing. Divine love flowing through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful.
I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am
First of all, we have part 2 of the series, Understanding Ourselves and Others. So during a time when we have so much discrimination, we really need to educate ourselves. So this time we are going to talk about a day in the life of a little person in an average height world. So we invite you to register on the website and then come and support Moira and Kathleen and learn some more about the little people. We have our annual meeting today after the service that will be at 11:45. So once the service is over, you are invited to exit the sanctuary for about 10 minutes. Grab a protein bar to hold you over, and then it is asked that you sign in as you enter the sanctuary again so that we can keep track of attendance. After the annual meeting, we will have a light lunch if you'd like to stay. If you are attending that meeting virtually, there is a new link that you see there on the screen that is different from the one that was originally advertised. So please make sure you have the correct link for that. We have Family Table Drive-Through coming up this Thursday, February 23rd at 5 p.m. If you would like to assist with the packing and serving of those meals, please contact Kathleen via phone. Her phone number is listed there on the screen, along with her email address. As Reverend Kathy mentioned, Reverend Barbara's husband, Stephen, has made his transition. His celebration of life is tentatively scheduled for Saturday, March 25th at the Unity Church in Minneapolis, and Reverend Pat will be officiating at that service. Again, our prayer chaplain this morning is Rebecca Thompson. Her phone number is listed there on the screen and in the chat. And then I'm going to turn things back over to Reverend Kathy.
Just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Chris and Brandy. And a special thank you to our musicians, Nancy and Grace. Beautiful job. Let's give them a warm. You get a chance to go meet Grace's adorable little child, Marlo. He and River get along well, so she has to play with him for a few minutes anyway. All right. So let's join together. I invite you to stand and we'll speak our prayer for protection, followed by our peace sign. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, stand. We'll do our affirmation first. Let's say this together. Centered in prayerful intention, we give thanks for an overflowing abundance, spiritual awakening, prosperity, new members and children for Unity North Spiritual Center. And so it is. And now our prayer for protection is next. Together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now we'll join in our peace song.